Hey yo, first and foremost, shout out to Lamont Roach and Tank. That was a great fight. I enjoyed it. But yo, I'm making this video because for the whole build-up, y'all were killing me over my victory over Lamont, saying that he wasn't worthy of the Tank fight. But at the end of the day, I don't care what y'all say. I got that W. That's all I'm saying. I got the W.
The boxing world is buzzing after the intense showdown between Gervonta Davis and Lamont Roach. Here are some of the wildest reactions to the fight. Lamont Roach Jr. is familiar with Gervonta "Tank" Davis as the two faced each other in the amateur ranks, building a history that added more intensity to their recent fight. Roach's father and trainer Lamont Roach Sr. has seen Davis rise to boxing stardom, but their past encounters didn't matter. When fight night arrived, Roach made his mindset clear that he was there to win. Roach won his title in November 2023 by defeating Hector Luis Garcia on the undercard of David Benavidez versus Demetrius Andrade. He defended it against Fergal McCrory before getting the biggest opportunity of his career, a fight with Tank Davis. Roach stated before the fight that this training camp felt different because he knew people were counting him out. His response came after Terrence Crawford claimed that only his friend Shakur Stevenson and stablemate Keyshawn Davis had the skills to defeat Tank Davis. Davis, known for his knockout power, has built a reputation for breaking down opponents. He stopped Frank Martin in 2024 after knocking out Ryan Garcia the previous year. Facing him was a huge challenge for Roach, but so was Muhammad Ali's legendary fight against George Foreman. Before the fight, Roach confidently started the trash talk with a poetic message saying that March 1st would mark the rise of a new champion. Davis quickly responded, telling Roach not to worry, because he would be heading to the hospital soon. After the fight, fans quickly reacted with excitement and debate over their back-and-forth exchange. Terrence Crawford also shared his thoughts on the fight build-up, making it clear that Tank's real tests were still ahead. When asked about a future unification bout, he simply said whoever, but added that Davis knew what he was up against if he ever fought Shakur Stevenson or Keyshawn Davis. Crawford pointed out that Tank had been facing opponents with some skill, but lacking the mental strength to keep up for an entire fight. However, he emphasized that Stevenson and Keyshawn were different and were the most likely to hand Tank his first loss. Would Roach prove everyone wrong, or was Crawford right about Davis's competition? One thing was certain: the boxing world was watching closely.
When I said it on Twitter, it went viral when I said the top 5 thing. A lot of people agreed, a lot of people disagreed. Tank said I was a meat lover. He came in, he was like, oh, this guy, you a meat lover.
But Tank would never even think about hesitating to come up to 154.
What about 47 though?
Yes, if he get to pick his opponent. If Tank get to pick his opponent, he would do it. But Tank would never come from 35 to 54.
Former champion Mikey Garcia, in an interview with Fight Hub TV, shared his thoughts on the fight between Gervonta Davis and Lamont Roach. While analyzing the matchup, Garcia also explained why a potential fight between Davis and Shakur Stevenson doesn't excite him much, despite that a unification bout between Davis and Stevenson remains one of the most unpredictable and anticipated fights in boxing. Garcia said before the fight that he considers Tank one of the best in the lightweight division and didn't see Roach as a major threat. He highlighted Davis's talent, experience, and knockout power, stating that Tank had faced all kinds of styles and had the confidence to dominate. He believed Davis would likely win the fight without much trouble. Stevenson is known for his defensive mastery, using movement and speed to control fights. Though some fans criticize his style for being less exciting, Stevenson remains confident that when the stakes are highest, he will deliver his best. Mikey Garcia acknowledged Stevenson's skills, but admitted he wasn't a fan of his approach. He explained that Stevenson prioritizes winning over entertainment, which makes his fights less appealing for some fans. Garcia said that while Stevenson was an exceptional boxer, he personally preferred a matchup between Tank and Lomachenko. Because Lomachenko is more willing to engage in a fight, he believed that Stevenson's defensive approach might make it difficult for him to land big fights until he becomes more aggressive. On the other hand, Tank Davis has built a reputation as a knockout artist, delivering highlight reel finishes. His gym performances have also sparked rumors that he dominates even heavier sparring partners. Jim Lampley predicted before the fight that Davis would secure another knockout victory against Roach. He acknowledged Roach's optimism and familiarity with Davis's style, but doubted that Roach had a solid strategy to counter Tank's knockout power. Lampley described Davis as an elite fighter not only because of his punching power, but also due to his clever footwork and counterpunching ability. He compared Tank's knockout ability to a young Mike Tyson, emphasizing that Davis doesn't just defeat opponents, he demolishes them. Lampley believed Roach was a competent fighter, but ultimately gave him no chance against Davis, expecting a knockout by the middle rounds. Meanwhile, Bernard Hopkins also shared his perspective on the fight. Hopkins stated that Tank Davis is a problem for anyone in the division and that the burden was on Roach to prove himself. However, he also warned that Davis shouldn't underestimate Roach, reminding fans that anything can happen in boxing. Hopkins acknowledged Roach's skills as both a boxer and a puncher and said that he carried confidence from his amateur experience. Roach himself revealed details about how the fight came together. Initially, he was offered the fight earlier, but since he wasn't a champion yet, it didn't happen, and PBC chose Hector Luis Garcia instead. Despite this, Roach finally got his chance against Tank. So that wraps up today's video. If you enjoyed it, remember to leave a like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss our upcoming content.